isn't that so funny too when you think about it is that when you start your journey off is that people put you in a box. And that's sometimes I think with project management, we can get so caught up in the box at that time that wasn't effective. But now the box has changed because watch this, Phil, the contents in the box are not the same anymore. So because the contents in the box is not the same, it's time to make an adjustment and figure out what we need to do to address what the contents are in the box.
It's so true. Absolutely. That's the dynamic life of a project manager. That's what it should be like. You bring up a great point. I love that analogy. Good deal. All right, let's go to this one and let's get to the punchline. And it says, planning organizes, elaborates, and coordinates work throughout the project. Planning takes place upfront and throughout the project. The amount, timing, and frequency varies depending on the product, development approach. There we go with development approach, environment, and stakeholders. So the thread is when you know the development approach, then you know how you're going to plan. Is it going to be like a sprint planning, or is it going to be full on back-to-back planning from the beginning to the end and making adjustments, very little adjustments to scope in a more predictive environment? That needs to come up. So planning is quite straightforward. You folks remember planning is a process group. So all the things that came under the planning process group, that's what this is talking about. So it says the planning performance domain addresses the activities and functions associated with the initial, ongoing, and evolving organization and coordination necessary for delivering project deliverables and outcomes. This one's quite straightforward, right? Planning is planning. Would you agree? What do you think?
Absolutely. And if you fail to plan, and you plan to fail. So
absolutely, Phil. And just to shed some light, especially with the performance domains, Phil, it's talking more about synergy in regards to the domains that you have up on your screen.
Yeah, everything needs to be synergized for the maximum effect.
Yeah.
So it says the amount, timing, and frequency varies depending on the product, development approach, environment, and, you know, a note to PMI, because I know you watch my videos. When you're rewriting this, you need to put stakeholders first. It's individuals and interactions over processes and tools. And I think Daryl hit the nail on the head. It's really about the synergy. And who does a synergy come from? It's just stakeholders. So, you know, the amount, timing, and frequency depends on the stakeholders. You could have the product telling you this needs to be a more adaptive approach, and you could have the stakeholders saying, no, we don't like adaptive. At the end of the day, it still boils down to the stakeholders. So that's a very good point, Darryl. It's all about the synergy, and that's a great way of looking at it as well. All right.